It was during this time, in the late 80s, that Carl and Beverly aired their network broadcast, Goin' Places. An amazing program that was never underwritten by anyone, but managed to spend 2 seasons on the road, meeting interesting Christians in interesting places, and sharing the gospel message through lives dedicated to Christ.
We were deer hunting, if I remember correctly. And I looked over at you and I said something like this. I said, Bob, you know, I love your place here. No radio, no television, no newspaper, no telephone. You remember what your answer was?
Yeah, I said, this place got everything.
That's right. It really does. Do you get a kind of a worship experience?
He saves and he keeps me, that's the one thing I know, one thing I know.
His boat is the Prince of Peace and rests calmly on the harbor waters.
What about it? We're going to catch some today? All right, Jane. All right.
All aboard this boat.
All right, let's go.
From this quiet harbor, Captain Joyce travels a path marked by multicolored buoys, the signature of each lobsterman.
You do anything else besides fishing?
Not really, no. I mean, I don't go fishing. I go lobster catching. I'm a lobster catcher. We can't take the time to go fishing.
You don't have time?
We don't have time to go for. I mean, we can buy fishing in the market cheaper than we can take the time out to go catch them. We have to stick to lobstering, as bad as it is.
What do you feel about the future of lobstering for your son and for your grandson?
I should say it looks like a dark picture to me, really. I hate to sometimes think of it, but if we don't do something, it'll be it's getting worse every year. It's getting worse every year. This lobster business here is getting to a point where it's serious business. I mean, these young fellows here, they can't make a living, and us old codgers can struggle through because we don't eat much. We've shortened up a lot, and but I just thank God I can praise the Lord out here, and I know He's my co-pilot because I got a sign that says so on my boat, and I got a little song I like singing. You know, it's what all Christians ought to know. You know, if you're a Christian, you should know that you should know that you should know. You know. And if you can stand it, I'll sing it to you.
Let's hear it.
The name of it is 6 Things I Know. So I'll sing it, okay?
All right.
He saves and he keeps me, that's the one thing I know. One thing I know. Oh, one thing I know. He saves and he keeps me, that's the one thing I know. And his blood washes whiter than snow. I've been buried in him, and that's 2 things I know. 2 things I know. 2 things I know. I've been buried in him, and that's 2 things I know. And his blood washes whiter than snow.
The strong winds and rough waters somehow seem out of place at this point called the Cape of Good Hope, but it is a fitting example of the current situation in southern Africa. In the jungles of Angola and South Africa, even the animals strangely seem at peace. South Africa is a country of breathtaking variety, a changing landscape teeming with beautiful exotic animals that the rest of the world sees only in magazines. great variety is seen in the peoples of South Africa as well. Their origins are as different as the colors of their clothing. Many from separate tribes, many from other countries. South Africa is not really a melting pot, but a smorgasbord, a nation comprised of other nations where everyone is a minority. Such diversity of backgrounds and cultures has naturally led to a widely diverse viewpoint on almost every important issue, such as power sharing and disinvestment. Strife has been the outcome of all the disagreements. And the conflict isn't limited to South Africa. Its nearby neighbor to the north, Angola, has been involved in a civil war for more than 2 decades. It has become the world's forgotten war. The people of Angola are fighting for one thing: self-determination, freedom. Their fight began against colonialism from the Portuguese and continues against a Marxist communist government propped up by Cuban and North Korean soldiers. This hunger for freedom has motivated the Angolan revolutionaries to sustain the disciplines and endure the rigors of war for more than 20 years. But the greatness of their goal still gives them reason to sing. The inspiration and direction for the Revolutionary Army comes from this man who has led them from the beginning, General Jonas Savimbi. We travel to the secret headquarters of the Revolutionary Army located in the heart of the Angolan jungle by helicopter at speeds of 250 miles per hour and at times perilously close to treetop levels. The reason for flying at just above treetop level? It was simple, our pilot told us: to keep us from getting shot out of the sky by the forces of the regular Angolan army. But we just couldn't resist taking this unusual view of a herd of elephants on our way to Jamba. We had come to Angola to see firsthand just what this forgotten war was really about, and what the struggle meant to the Revolutionary Army and their families in human terms. Here in the jungles of Angola, the air was thick and hazy. The humidity was high. Our host, the right-hand man of Jonas Savimbi, General Tito, we learned, was born here in Angola during the Portuguese occupation. He appeared to be an excellent student of military history and diplomacy. He joined the revolution at 16 years of age and has served at every level in the Revolutionary Army of Jonas Savimbi. His 2 brothers have already died in this forgotten war. And at age 20, Tito left the jungles of Angola to study at universities in England, Portugal, and America, and in the process received 2 master's degrees, then returned to his beloved Angola at age 26 to take his place again in the ongoing revolution.